Welcome to Modern Day Abigails. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new." So let's listen to God's Word, where everyday lives transform and where we can become the women God created us to be. Yeah, it's
recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome to another episode of Modern Day Abigails. I'm Anna.
I'm Joanna.
And we are excited to continue our study of Rebecca, and then so that we can go into Rachel and Leah.
I want to say something funny because...
Oh, good. I'm glad it's funny.
Okay, I don't know if it's funny, but I thought it was humorous. We'll use the word humorous. If anybody's... Any of y'all ever want to know, why does Anna always say her name first? Because we decided a long time ago that Joanna and Anna did not flow. It sounded funny.
Yes, it did.
And so we were both in immediate agreement that it should be Anna and Joanna just because it flows better. But, we're in this together. Yes.
And it's not like one's better than the other. It's just somebody's name has to go first. And it does sound funny if you go Joanna and Anna.
It doesn't flow.
No.
It's difficult to say. So, it's weird.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But they always also say, save the best for last.
Hey,
I'll
take it.
There you go. See, I got this. We got this.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening.
Yes. And so we just got through doing another podcast before this one. Same day.
Seconds ago.
Yeah.
Minutes ago.
Minutes because we, somebody had to make a cup of coffee and we take some little restroom breaks.
It was delicious.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Did you make another cup?
No, I figured I better not, but I just loved how you said that. I need to put some more cream in my sugar. Not coffee, cream in her sugar. That's what she said.
I did say that. And
that was great.
That's not what I meant, but whatever.
I knew what you meant.
I did add more sugar to my cream because it's mostly cream.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. No, we did rescue about getting rescued. And we'll talk a little bit about that because we have another area where, we have to realize that we need a rescue.
We always think about stuff after. And she's like, man, I forgot to say this. This would have been good. I'm like, hey, we got another podcast in a few minutes.
We'll just add it
in there.
Yeah, we'll just stick it in there. So, we've been having a lot of fun since the last time we talked to you. We Ray and I went to the puppy adoption. We went in for we were looking for beagles, and they had some beagle lab pups go in there. And
adorable.
They were so cute. And we knew two of them had already found a home, but we didn't know about the other one. So we thought, we'll go in there. Maybe they're still there. And they were not. One was still there, but he was out getting neutered. So we're like, do we want to just go look? So we went just to go look and wound up coming home with Maverick. He looks like a fox. So they actually named him Todd after the Fox and the Hound.
Yeah.
But he's
just as sweet as he can be.
He is. He had a loving family at one time.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart thinking that. I know it's terrible, Joanna, but I do. I would rather think he got dumped than that there's a family who are crying over him.
I'm telling you, I think I'm going to go with dumped because...
Or he got out.
Most people that... Yeah. Because you see it all over Facebook. My dog got out. So-and-so left the gate open. Please help us find him. And often they are successful.
Yeah. I know our pet adoption center.
And he's 8 months old. Ain't nobody found him yet. So
I know our adoption center, I know they are the type that you have to come in. You can't just call and ask them if your dog is there. You have to actually go in.
But if it was yours, you'd go.
I would go in. I don't know. I was just sad that I just don't want to know that there's a family who's crying over them. I'm hoping that they're thinking that somebody took him and he's got a great home because he does. He's spoiled rotten right now.
Yeah, listen, he's living the life.
Yeah, he's living
at Jensen at I
don't know.
Look, Casa de Jensen,
something like that.
Casa de Jensen.
Yeah, there we go. The House of Jensen. Yes, yeah. He's being spoiled. And the kids love him, and that was one of my most important things. Is I needed to know that between our niece and nephews and grandkids that he just loves everybody. He hasn't met anybody he hasn't loved.
And we just need to make sure he's kosher with cats. That way, if I
really think he'll be okay because because Jack and Gina also have a cat, and I think he'll be okay because he only seems to like to chase them because they run and he thinks they want to play. He's just a big playful baby.
Yeah.
And because if the cats are sitting still, he doesn't, it's not like he growls or tries to go after them. It's only if they run and he's happy and his tail's wagging. So he does the same thing with birds. Even the squirrels in the backyard, they've kind of gotten used to him because he just runs over there, looks at them as they go up the tree like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You don't want to play? So he's never really growled or anything. And the only time he's gotten barky is like if somebody's coming through the door and he doesn't know who it is.
Or on one of his first nights, he was scared of the shadows.
Yeah, he was scared of the cars when we first got him. And he was scared of the night, I think, because he had a hard time sleeping at night. Like he didn't know. I think he couldn't get comfortable because I think if he'd been on the streets for a little while, I think cars scared him. And I think sleeping at night scared him. Now that's not a problem. He sleeps on his back. You have to watch for a paw in your face.
He's taking over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, y'all are now in his bed.
Yeah.
He is not in yours.
That's all right. I was like, but if everything I've read says he's real comfortable and trust us. I don't. It's just looking at me. I'm like, but he trusts us.
Yeah, he's like, as he's taking up the whole bed. I don't think your husband would care if he's trusting or not at this point in his life.
But he's been such a good gospel magnet because people want to come and pet him. He's so soft and furry and he's happy and people want to come over and pet him. And
he's adorable and he's so loving and so sweet.
And he looks like a fox. And so it catches people's attention. They come over there.
He's
and if
red.
you're going to come over here and he's red with a little bit of white on his nose. We think he's a corgi, red heeler, some type of shepherd mix.
Yeah. We've been looking it up.
The only part of the shepherd you see is that he has a little bit of black on his snout. And then his ears are slightly pointed, but they're short like a corgi, but they're not rounded like a corgi, but they're like just a slight little bitty point.
And then you and I looked up corgi blue, corgi red healer.
He looks a lot like
them. It was almost identical.
Yeah, except for the mouth. And that's where he gets the shepherd from.
And then my son has a blue healer. And if we were to put red and tan on Sean's dog, it would be almost identical. The Sean's is a full blue healer though.
Yeah. This guy, he's definitely got, shepherd
bought him from a blue healer dealer.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Blue healer dealer. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious. That's okay. I got to find a beagle dealer.
I almost spit my coffee out on that one. That was funny.
But we are going somewhere with this because,
we?
Yeah, we are because
it's questionable.
Oh, I know. But part of it is talking about because we were talking about that trust and we're talking about the gospel magnet and we talked about if you listen to our rescue, you're going to hear this again.
It's a good one. Y'all should.
Because
I love it. It's going to be one of my faves.
When we went to go look at Maverick, we actually took a couple of trips around and I kept seeing him and he was in a cage. But now the neat thing is he just kind of got down and just looked at Ray and he needed to be rescued.
Yeah.
And we had to pay an adoption fee, which was amazing. I'm going to tell you, Alvin Adoption Center is amazing. For our $66, he had all his first shots. He had flea and tick. He got microchipped. We brought him back so they could take him to the Humane Society to get neutered and come back.
All included.
I call it a hyperdectomy.
Yeah.
Remove his hyperness.
Did it?
Yeah. So far, yes. Okay. Actually, he's gotten a little bit. Yes, he has mellowed out since his procedure. But so I've been calling it a hyperdectomy. And
that's funny.
I thought it was being clever, but
it is clever.
He reminded me how much we were in a cage called sin.
Yeah.
And how we needed somebody to come in and see us and rescue us who could provide for us. And that was Jesus. Jesus saw that we were in a sin and he had to come and buy us and save us. And we get adopted, just like Maverick got adopted and he got a new name. I don't know what his original family name was. I know that the adoption center called him Todd. And I was like, no, he needs a new name.
And he didn't answer to Todd when you called him.
No, he didn't answer to I don't know what he answered to, but he does now answer really well to Maverick or Mav. He especially answers to Mav. And now I'm starting to call him Mavy. Because he's such a goofy, cute little thing that I'm like, well, I didn't want to have him an embarrassing name when he went to the vet. Who wants to hear your name, something dumb. I wanted to give him a cool name. Of course, it was because it's Maverick. My brother Jack's like, well, if you do get him a sibling, you're going to have to name him Goose.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, yeah, we probably might have to do that.
Absolutely. If you don't know what we're talking about, watch the movie Top Gun.
And I'm not I like the second Top Gun. I didn't like the first Top Gun. I could care less. But that's how he got his name because he was this dog is such a lover. And my first thought was Maverick. And I'm like, I told Ray, I'm like, what about Maverick? He goes, he looks like a Maverick, but he still calls him Dog. But anyway, he got a new name. And that's what the book of Revelation talks about. So Jesus came to rescue us out of our sin. He paid us with his own blood. He offered us to come live with him, to be adopted and live with him for eternity, to find a forever home. And he, in the book of Revelation, talks about a new name. And it was Revelation 12:17. So it's just it's a beautiful picture. So everybody who comes and talks to my dog, if you pet my dog, you get the gospel message. And most people smiled and nodded. Some have agreed with me. Some just smiled and nodded. And they're like, I know they were thinking, I just wanted to pet your dog, and that's fine.
Right.
Pet my dog.
And you can.
Yeah. But you're going to hear the gospel message while we talk about it. Because that's the important part. And he's, and he sits and gives his pets, and he's like, this is cool.
Yeah.
So he's got a job now. Besides chasing squirrels to make sure they stay safe in the tree and they eat their meals.
Yeah.
I've been finding the bowl for the squirrel food on the ground. I'm like, how's that happening? I saw how it happened yesterday. He scared one of them. They threw the bowl. I'm like, you're cracking me up.
Oh, anyway, my gosh.
He chased Curious George this morning. That's the squirrel that likes to sit on the fence and ponder life. Have you seen that picture? He sits on our fence and looks at the street. It's like he's pondering life.
No.
I'll have to show you that picture.
No.
Yeah, we call him Curious George, but now Curious George likes to run back and forth, and, Maverick make sure he has exercise. So that's his job, to make sure the squirrels are safe. Yeah. They have food and get exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. And now if you're a cicada, you're done, because he'll eat you. That was gross.
Crunchy.
Yes. That's exactly, it was at night. And I hear this. I see him doing something. I'm like, what are you doing? I hear this. I'm like, oh my God, what did you just eat? Anyway. So, now that we talked about that.
Okay, so listen, girls, we're going on our second podcast recording today. Yes. And so we're a little bit hyped up on coffee. We've already had lunch, and we are still raring to go. Only difference is Pastor Ray, a.k.a. Anna's husband,
our producer,
a.k.a. our producer and editor, has left us alone, unsupervised. So, never can tell.
Exactly.
So, Anna, what's our...
Well, I need to ask you, have you ever watched... I know, the question.
Is it the question?
I put it on here. I gave you a heads up. Yes.
No.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the cue.
It is. Sorry.
Question. Well, okay. What is it?
Okay. So the question is have you ever watched somebody go through something and you wind up going through the same event and you're like, I am doing this so totally different?
Absolutely. Okay. First of all, any non-parent person says this about kids.
That's
true. And then when they have their own kids, they are just as messed up.
Yes.
And making the same
I'm going to do it different. And then you wind up, and then you're like, nope. No, there are some things you should do different. There are some things I have seen. I'm like, I am totally not doing it that way. And I didn't do it that way. But there are some things you're like, I'm not doing it that way.
Like in the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, you're like, now I know why they did that. I remember the first time Stevie looked at me, he goes, I understand now, Mom, why you did some of the things you used to do. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, for reals. Okay, so, but that wasn't my answer. My answer is, okay, what have I... Oh, I don't know.
Have you ever done something and saw somebody do it and you wind up doing the exact same way and you're like, dang it?
I mean, all the time.
All the time?
Sure. Day-to-day life. Listen, ain't nothing popping in my head right now, but I'm going to have to get back to you. But I'm just saying, well, what's your answer?
Well...
it ain't so easy, is it?
No, it's not. I didn't say it was. I did not say it was going to be easy. But I have seen things. Anna. I have seen things. I'm like, I want to do it different because I've seen things. Usually mine is a work situation where I've seen some stuff and I'm like, I think I'm going to do this different. I don't want to do it that way. Let me find another way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because I could see that it didn't work that way. It's like, I don't think that's quite the way I would have. Like, actually, it's somewhat similar because the way I've seen people react. Because I have seen things. I tell them out at work all the time because they'll do something, and I'm like, I've seen things. So let's rethink about this. And because I have seen different things, and you don't expect it. One of my colleagues are like, "Can you please read my email because I'm really upset. This is the situation, and I need you to read my email." And I read their email. I'm like, well. It's not the way I would write it. They're like, okay, fine. You rewrite my email for me. I'm like, okay. So I rewrote the email and the person looked at it and they're like, okay, fine. Click. Well, it turned out that it was a big misunderstanding. And I looked at her and I went, are you glad we rewrote that email? She goes, I would have apologized. I'm like, okay, but we're glad. But are we glad we rewrote the email? Because she does the same thing for me. I'll write something and she'll come over there and she'll be like, maybe we shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So most of the time when I'm thinking about it is we've learned from our work experience what works, what doesn't work, and why we're precautious in some areas. And because even one of them, she's newer to our team, and I'll do something. She goes, I know, we've seen things. Yeah, I'm like, yes, we have. So we have to take a different approach because we've seen things.
Right. I think I have an answer.
Okay, great.
But I'm using myself as the example on both sides.
This should be exciting.
Okay. So I was thinking, so if you've been listening for any amount of time, you know that I was that I was married, abused, divorced, and I've been single for a long, long time. Okay. So, but I know people who date right now, and I don't like the way they date. And I'm always thinking, I'd do that a little different. Okay. I'm not. That's not how I'd be doing things. But in reality, I don't have any. Listen, I don't got a great track record. I don't know how I do anything.
Because we already decided. Remember, we already talked about this.
I know.
You're getting chaperoned.
I know. And that's the only reason I would not, that I would have any sense of what to do is, because one, I've never really been a good dater, and I wasn't the dating kind. I had a bunch of boyfriends, but we weren't.
I get it.
Okay, so moving on. And so I married one of them, but I was with my ex-husband. We began dating dang near immediately, moved in together in 1995. Do the math. What is it? 30 years ago?
Yes,
30 years ago.
It is.
Okay, so he's the only one I've been with since then.
Yeah.
And I haven't been with him. Our divorce was final in 2013.
Wow. Yeah.
But we were
so over 10 years
separated for 5.5 years prior. And so I have no idea how I would do any of it because dating in this world is very, very different. I was already not a good dater. I didn't really know how to do it, and clearly picked the bad guys because my ex-husband wasn't my first one. And so I'm absolutely petrified, scared to death of the thought of going on even a coffee date.
Well, I was thinking, I'm
like sick.
I'm here
for you. Sick.
I'm going to be here for you.
That don't mean I ain't going to get sick.
The thing is that I'm thought.
It's just make it to the bathroom.
No, just now I sat there going, Anna, how are you going to be any help? You've only had one boyfriend, the first one you married, and y'all never dated.
It was a disaster.
It was a disaster. You never dated. And then you met Ray, and we just started out as being friends.
For years, and then y'all just took the next natural step. So what are you, tell me that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
So anyway, I'll be on Pinterest.
Ray's not any different. He's only been married once to you.
Yeah, but no, he had a lot of girlfrions.
Okay.
So
I know, but that was
advice.
a long time ago.
That is true.
None of us got any experience. No. Listen, so, I feel sad. I already feel bad for the future guy.
Hey, look, Pinterest has everything. I'll be on Pinterest and we're going to figure this out.
So I would do that different. No, I don't know what I would do. I don't have any idea what I would do.
We are going to do things different because, we're going to do some things different, like you're going to get chaperoned. Okay, so I should have been chaperoned.
I'm going to need it because I'm going to be scared
and then
to
the other thing
death.
we're going to think about it from a courting point of view. Are you good enough to be a husband or not? And we ain't going to last long. We had a few dates or a few
I'll know
meetings.
after coffee.
Yeah, we'll have a few coffees and things.
I'm a red flag point around her like no other.
And then, but not perfection because that's what I'm there for. Because you might point out a red flag and I'll be like, girl, that ain't a red flag.
I know. You already looked at my future husband list and he threw it away. So
I did. I crumpled it up.
She sure did.
Oh, I need that. We need that sound over here. He said we could program a sound. I need a sound of crumbling paper.
Crumbling. Okay. He'll listen. He'll put it in.
I need crumbling paper.
That's true. Yeah.
And
my
trashed
list, you literally threw it in the trash.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And you were like, nope, this will never work.
And I like to think the Lord gave me the list. So,
Yeah. And then she got her own list not for her.
Oh, no.
For me.
Exactly.
But it was a good one.
I should have created a list for myself a long time ago, but I didn't. But that's okay. That's what the Lord was there for.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this.
We'll see. We'll see. Anywho, that's my example of what I would do.
And that's why because in Genesis 24, what I really wanted to, we called it scrubbing toilets because the servant there was determined to get a wife for Isaac. And he did it the right way. And he didn't lose focus in the ministry. He knew that his job was to go get the wife for Isaac. He prayed for the type of wife that he wanted for Isaac. She showed up. He confirmed it was her, and he never looked left or right. He stayed focused on what he was doing. And so that's where we left off in Genesis 24 is how they were really about prayer, because we didn't go into Sarah and Abraham. And I don't know why I didn't do it, but I decided we will get into Sarah.
You said it was its own podcast. But
yes,
and
it's going to be on her.
Lots of info.
Exactly. There's going to be a lot to go through. Yeah. So, and because we're going to see everything of what not to do. A lot of it's what not to do because they were learning. I mean, God just said, hey, by the way, you're going to be my chosen people and I'm starting with you too. Ha ha. You know, and so
in their 80s and 100s.
Yes. So they had a lot to go on. They had a lot to do, a lot in to
soak in.
They were having a lot of learning. So I'd like to think, though, is that because of all that, Isaac did learn. And that's why Abraham told his servant, go find my son a wife, but go to this particular family group because this is the right family group. And the servant goes, Lord, I'm going to need your help. Mm-hmm. And he went to the Lord because they said he was an old servant. So he probably saw all the junk that was going on thinking, I'm going to do this different. Let's do this different.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for a wife. And the right woman came up. And so now we're in Genesis 25.
He prayed specifically.
Yes.
And the Lord answered specifically.
Exactly. And that's
I love it.
Exactly.
We can do the same.
We can. And we're going to see how that kind of continues in 25. Now, a little bit later, we're going to be like, hey, you people who were praying really hard in 25, what happened to you in this chapter? Like, what happened? But that does happen. You know. Sometimes when we've been walking with the Lord for so long that we think it's second nature, and it's not.
We get complacent.
And we get complacency is a deal killer. And I think it was Og. Do you know that guy? Og. And his last name starts with an M.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's a Christian writer. About. He's a Christian writer. He's wrote a lot of good books. He's the one who wrote Christ Commission. It was actually a neat book. It was very fictional, but it was a really neat book. But it was about a guy who didn't believe, and he winds up back in the biblical times, and he sees and watches everything. And it's like, anyway, he said, don't let yesterday's wins.
Og Mandino.
That him.
I never heard of him.
Oh, he's good. He's a fabulous writer. He's an old writer, but he's fabulous. And what he says is, if I remember, I'm paraphrasing, and it was, don't let yesterday's successes make you complacent today. And that's what he was trying to say is just because you saw somebody come to know Jesus or you gave the gospel message yesterday doesn't mean you quit doing it. You have to stay on top of it every single day. And so what I think we see is we will see a complacency, but not yet. Right now, we're going to see that continued prayer, but we're also going to see how the Lord said, I made a promise with Sarah and Abraham, and I'm now, because of what Sarah and Abraham did by Sarah thinking it was a great plan to give her husband a new wife, and he thought she was right.
That went well.
Yeah, that didn't go well. And we see that division, and we're going to see how God's going to show them that division continuing. So as much as we like to think that we make a mistake and we fix our mistakes or we ask God to fix it, we still have consequences.
Absolutely.
And I think
still have scars.
Scars and consequences. And I think that's...
Not all scars are physical on your skin.
No, some are very emotional.
Yeah,
I mean,
mental,
everybody knows my scar from when I got held underwater by a swim instructor. Like I said, I don't blame him. I think he really thought he was doing the right thing. It's just that in my mind, I was going to drown and die. And I have been scarred ever since. Although
she can now tell you every exit in the building.
Yes. If you're wondering how to get exit, follow me.
Even if you don't really need to know.
I was petrified when we were at that academy up in Dallas, and there was tornado sirens everywhere.
I was with you.
Yes, you were.
We went to Walmart.
You did not it was academy, and you didn't like my plan.
What was your plan?
We're going to go to the bathrooms and hang out in there. And you're like, I'm not touching that floor.
I'm like,
Joanna, it's a tornado.
No.
We are going. And
I went outside.
That's what
I went outside too.
I thought y'all were crazy.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. Anyway, I knew my exit.
We were at Academy.
I had an exit plan.
Bathroom.
I had an exit plan.
Gross.
I had a protection plan. We were going to be safe.
Lord, just take me now. Okay. Nope.
Anyway, so yes, I have scars from that. So I have a hard time hugging, and I'm starting to hug more, and I'm learning how to hug.
You are.
But at the same time, I know where all my exits are. Okay.
Listen, her family, I wasn't here, but I did hear the story from Anna herself that she had a family gathering here at the church. And one of the first things she did was give them all the exits.
I did. I made sure everybody knew where the exits were.
Now, how many family things have you gone to where one of the first things said is, your exits are here, here, and here? Never.
I love my family, okay? I wanted to make sure they got out. Okay. Yeah. Every good family member should make sure that we all know where our exits are.
You're absolutely right, Anna. Absolutely.
I go to a restaurant, I'm like looking around, I'm like, okay, this happens. I know which one I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as she can crawl up to the ceiling tile and get out through the neighbor's window, she's good.
Hey, you know what? It's long in my mind.
I've got a plan. I'm just saying.
But, and that's, so I know y'all are thinking, oh my gosh, y'all digress. No, really, seriously. That's what I'm saying is some of our scars, you can see it. Some of our scars are a little weird. And some of our scars, you know what? I've learned a lot from it. And we're just going to take it and apply it to life and help others. And that's where there's still scars in this family, this Jewish family. And we're going to see it come up. But we're also going to see how well they handle it. So now after all this time of 25 minutes, we're going to start talking about Genesis 25.
First podcast is gibberish.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, because we like to have a good long intro. We want to make you grab your attention and we want you to stay. Thank you for letting us share our tools to become the women God created us to be. If we encouraged you today, visit us at moderndayabigails.com. Remember, you are loved, cherished, and prayed over.